Hi, my name is Kamil. I am assuming that you have already watched my video on how to print FBA stickers on any thermal printer, Zebra, Dymo, etc. And this is troubleshooting. So problems with printing occur on two kind of levels. One is the problem with the printer itself, printer setup, and the other one is actually with taking it out of the PDF and setting it in the right way, choosing the right size of stickers from the menus, margins, and so on and so on. So let's start with the printer. So in Windows, make sure that you have your anywhere. I mean, in any system, make sure that you've got your printer set up and installed properly. So in Windows, you can go to Control Panel and Devices and Printers. In Windows 10, you might also get this menu, which is also right. By the way, you probably will have it white background and black text. I've changed it around. So here you find your printer. If it's already there, then open queue or manage. If it's not here, then obviously you need to add your printer. That's a different story. I'm not gonna show you this. You can also do it here, add a printer. So add a queue, open queue, printer, printing preferences, and then you need to set your preferences, or properties, again very similar, and set your properties. And again, you can also access it from this menu. So just go to see what's printing. That's the printer's queue, printing preferences. As you can see, it's all the same menus. You can access in a different way. So here it doesn't really matter, front to back is all right. Advanced. Now here, this is what you might need to change. So labels, obviously you can choose the labels that you use most often. I use 11354. Sometimes I use, let me actually check, 11355 and 356. And for shipping, I use, where is it? 1744. Where is 1744? Oh, let me find it, probably a bit higher. 1744907. That's what I use for shipping. It's a big label for not for FBA stickers, so to say, but for the big shipping labels. So I usually use this one, 11354, and I'll talk about those numbers a bit more in my next videos, because they are sometimes confusing and not easy to find the right label size. Advanced printing features, I have it as enabled. I don't really know exactly what it does, but if I disable, I can see I cannot use this one right then down, so it doesn't hurt, I keep it on. Color printing mode, obviously this is black and white, by the way, I keep it as enhanced. If I use as default, it tells me, those signs tell me that there is some mismatch and this probably needs to change. So I'm gonna use the enhanced method, and here I'm gonna use photo quality. Simply, I want to have the fastest speed possible. Now, I'm lying. I want to have the highest quality possible. That compromises the speed a little bit. So it will print a little bit slower, but just a little bit, maybe 30%, but the quality will be much better. Now this is important when you print small stickers, and I'll show you what sizes. This is 11354. I will show you the size in a moment. It's probably the smallest one. Anything smaller than this, you need to use photo quality or enhanced printing mode. The other options that are here is the printer's features is barcodes and graphics or text only. This usually has direct correlation with those, and you can find it in certain advanced settings. We'll get there soon. When you change this, you might find that this automatically changes to something different, sometimes not, so you need to experiment. That depends on your printer. Now, density, I've set it to dark. Normal is fine. There isn't much of a difference, but I've noticed that dark sometimes gives me better results, especially with small printers. Continuous mode, no, actually tells me that is not a good idea for the paper size I have, because that prints on a roll without an end, so to say, but our stickers have an end. They have precise results, sizes, so disabled, continuous mode disabled. Okay, once you set it, that is absolutely fine. That's it. There isn't much more you need to do. So printing preferences we've set. The other options is properties. Okay, this didn't give me what I wanted. Properties. Okay, that is not what I wanted actually. Print server, no. Okay, I'll access it from this menu. I'll get it, the properties. Printer properties, here we go, that's what I wanted. So name, you don't really need to change anything. You can go to preferences again, same menu as before. Sharing, this is if you obviously want to share the printer, doesn't matter. Ports, you will probably have it as USB, because I connect mine via USB. Virtual printer port for USB, again it will vary from printer to printer. Advanced, you probably don't need to change anything here. Color management, don't change anything here unless you know what you're doing. Security, you should have everyone should be allowed to print. If you have problems, you might give everyone also ability to manage this printer and documents, but normally just this is the username I'm using. This will be enough. Okay, so that's printer. Printer itself has been set up. You can, by the way, you can use Dymo software also to help you with certain things like getting to know the label sizes and how they work. So I recommend you use this one. So let's get now to real life printing. So I'm gonna choose this one. So this is the PDF I got using my print method number 1. So if I go to this page and click print labels for this page, I will get this. And as I said, go to edit, take a snapshot. It needs to be highlighted. Other software also has options like this. They might be called in a different way, but they will have it. And then you just click on print. So print or Control P on Windows. On Mac it will be probably something different. Again, choose your printer from here. And again, you can go to properties and set out those things as per given documents. So the other preferences that I showed you before, that was general, and now you can override them for this particular printing session here. So the moment you close Adobe Reader, you will lose those preferences, or maybe not, you will not lose it, but they will not propagate to all other printing sessions. If you open the same document, again, you will probably get the same printing preferences, but in other documents, they will default to what we have said before from the kind of a general menu here, and no, not printer, and yeah, from here and from the other one. So it's exactly the same menu, but this one is only for this particular session that I'm printing right now. I hope that was clear. Now, it needs to say selected graphics, and now we have a preview of what's gonna happen. Now, here we have sizes, and as you can see, it's very precise, 57.15 and 31.75. So it's less than 32, but more than 57, even though the box says, is it this one? No, it's not this one. Wait a moment. It's this one. The box says 32.57. These are approximate measurements, and I will tell you in a moment, show you why this is important. But bear this in mind. Now, as I said, fit might be better for you, actual might be better, and then experiment with portrait and landscape mode. That will affect what you see. Now remember, this preview here is what you see is what you get, as long as you have chosen the right label size from here, or the right label code from here. This will be exactly what you are getting. And what you need to do, you need to print at least one, and if the first one doesn't work, print another one just in case, because sometimes the first one doesn't come out right, but the second one comes out right. So don't give up, print another one. Maybe the third one probably you don't need to, but the second one definitely you need to print. You can go also to advanced settings, and here you can set DPI manually now. Instead of choosing some high quality or photo option or something, you can just choose DPI, and I recommend 600 dpi, especially for the small labels. For the bigger labels you can choose 300, absolutely perfect. 300 for all labels, it's more than enough, and the speed will increase, it will print faster. With small labels, use 600 dpi's. You can go through all other settings, but you don't really need to change them at all. So basically this is troubleshooting for method number 1. Now method number 3, so so method number 1 and 2 is the same steps. Method number 3, now this is a little bit different, so let's go there. So we were here and I told you about this box. So we've got 37 and the label says 32, yeah, as we have, the box says 32 millimeters, but I'm setting it to 31. Now why? If I set it to 32, this will be actually bigger than the label size. And how do we know? Because here I can see the label size is less than 32, it's 31.75, but Amazon will not allow me to enter any decimal numbers, whether with a comma or with a dot. It will not allow me. So if I choose 32 and click save and then click print label, it will go to the next page. Even if I set my margins to none, even if I choose customized and make them, I don't know, like this or like that, it is always going to go to the next page, unfortunately. Yeah, so the maximum margins, 0 margins, and it doesn't work. So that's why I need to choose a bit smaller, which is 31. Now save it, print, and you see it's perfect. Yeah, obviously margins are none. If I customize them and make them just a little bit smaller, this half a millimeter, now as you can see, again I get second page. So with margins at 0, it all fits on one sticker, and this is what we want. Sticker or page in this case, it's the same for the purposes of what we're doing here. Right, so what happens if you have problems? For example, you cannot find the sticker you want. So for example, I want to print on 1350, let me see, 56. It's a nice bigger one, and it's not here. Ooh, that is obviously an issue. So what I need to do, instead of printing it, I can just simply save it as PDF, and then I can print it the way I want. So I would get something like this. Let me just close it. So I'll get something like this. I'm gonna make it now bigger, so 200%, okay, and can edit, take a snapshot, okay. Let me take a snapshot, and now obviously from here I can choose now the label I want, the label size. So I would choose 1156, okay. Now here we go. I can choose actual size, or I can choose fit to have it the way I want. And basically that's it. Obviously I can use custom scale. So what's the scale here? I can see the scale is 160. So I can choose custom scale, maybe 150. I'm gonna press tab. Okay, that looks even better. Here we go, problem solved, yeah? So that's the way around this. Another issue you might have here is you might wanna print to your printer, but it's not in the list anywhere here. So what you need to do is click on manage, and if you have your printer here, you should have it. If you have your printer on this list here, or on this list here somewhere, there is no reason why it shouldn't be here. So if you've got too many printers, unfortunately you will need to delete some of them, and hopefully then the one you want will somehow show up in this list. I haven't found another way around this. There might be some. I haven't been looking a lot, but there might be a way around it. You might find it somewhere here. And then your printer will hopefully show up here. Also, renaming some of the printers might work. So you just click rename, and if you rename it, hopefully also your printer will show up here, and then you just simply choose it, and that's it. Any other issues to remember? Okay, yes, let me change it. If I'm going to let's say print it on something smaller, let me go back actually to Adobe. If I want to print this on something smaller than 11354, this barcode is too tight. It's actually little bit different graphically. Is different barcode. I mean, it will give you the same obviously code if you scan it, because why would it give you any different? But it just simply the bars are thicker and the spaces are smaller. So if you print it on a small label, smaller than this one, 1135, and just to remind you, it's in inches. That would be let me find the American version so we are clear. In inches it would be this one, 1.25 by 2.25. That is the smallest size you should be using to print that method. By the way, the links to all those stickers and other products underneath, I will appreciate if you use my links so I can get a little bit of a kickback from Amazon from advertising this. So if you need to print on a smaller sticker, unfortunately I don't think you could use this method. You need to generate the stickers using method number 1 and 2. As you can see, the bars are a little bit more clear. There are bigger spaces between them. By the way, the vertical size doesn't matter. The scanner doesn't care how tall it is. So as you can see, this is like half of the size of this one. It doesn't matter as long as the scanner can read horizontally in like this, it's fine. But as you can see, the spaces here are a little bit smaller than here, and it does make a difference if you print it on a small sticker. You can take your phone, take a scanner application, any scanner application, and scan it, and you will see if your phone can scan it easily, then it's all right. The guys in the Amazon, they have a really good quality scanners. They will manage. But if your phone cannot scan it, there is a chance that the guys at Amazon will struggle as well. And you can see it with your naked eyes. If you look at the distances, you will see there are clear distances, or they are kind of touching each other, you know. That's no good. Don't use this sticker. Use something bigger basically, or see if you can increase the settings of the printer. So I showed you, you can go to properties and set it to a bit higher. So just to show you again, this is in the quality, so we go to properties and advanced, and these are these options: photo quality and bars, codes and graphics, and also manually setting it to 600. So let's see if I just to show you an example, if I go here and I change this to text only, okay, and I go to advanced, okay, it's still 600. Let's make another change. That's how I find out which settings affect what. Instead of photo quality, I will go to, I don't know, auto select, enhanced color default, okay. I don't know, let's take it like this, yeah, okay. Oh, it's still 600 dpi's, but sometimes this might show you 600 but not printed as 600, so you need to experiment and really find out for yourself, because from my observations, when I chose those settings here, when I changed them to lower settings, it really produced inferior quality. It really did. Okay, so basically that is it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I will be happy to work with you and help you. We can do it remotely or just in the comments underneath the video here on YouTube. Really thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next videos in which I will discuss the various labels I use, the product codes, and all sorts of things that might be useful. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.